It is a joy to proclaim and give glory and worship to the only true and living God, our Father, who gave his only begotten divine Son, Jesus Christ. Let us continue reading this book by Uriah Smith. And we are now in the 15th part of this series. Our Father in heaven, holy indeed is your name. May your grace and mercy continue to be experienced with repentant heart and contriteness to you. Strengthen me and those who are calling upon your name, our Father, in your name, through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Point number 11 of this book, in thoughts from you in commenting Revelation 13. Uriah Smith writes, and I'd like to read to you today. An image to the beast. Closely associated with this working of miracles is the creation of an image to the beast. The prophet thus connects the two in verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had wound by a sword and did live. The deception accomplished by the working of the miracles prepares the way for compliance with this demand for the formation of an image to the beast. To understand what would be an image of the papacy, we must first gain some definite idea of what constitutes the papacy itself. The full development of the beast, or the establishment of papal supremacy, dates from the famous letter of Justinian, which was made effective in 538 AD, constituting the Pope, the head of the church, and the corrector of heresies, or heretics, The papacy was a church clothed with civil power, an ecclesiastical body having authority to punish all dissenters with confiscation of goods, imprisonment, torture, and death. What would be an image of the papacy? Another ecclesiastical establishment clothed with similar power. How could such an image be formed in the United States? Let the Protestant churches be clothed with power to define and punish heresy, to enforce their dogmas under the pains and penalties of the civil law. And should we not have an exact representation of the papacy during the days of its supremacy? It may be objected that whereas the papal church was comparatively a unit, and hence could act in harmony in all its departments in enforcing its dogmas, the Protestant church is so divided as to be unable to agree in regard to what doctrines should be made imperative on the people. The answer is there are certain points which they hold in common and which are sufficient to form a basis of cooperation. Take note of the words of Uriah Smith. This is very prophetic in its language. Chief among these may be mentioned the doctrine of the conscious state of the dead, the immortality of the soul, which is both the foundation and superstructure of spiritualism. The first lie of Satan, you shall not surely die, and the Sabbath. Listen to this. And also the doctrine that the first day of the week is the Christian Sabbath. So immortality of the soul and Sabbath. Let now an ecclesiastical organization be formed by these churches. Let the government legalize such organization and give it a power which it will not have till the government thus granted, to enforce upon the people the dogmas which different denominations can all adopt as the basis of union. And what do we have? Just what the prophecy represents, an image of the papal beast, endowed with life by the two-horned beast to speak and act with power. And are there any indications of such a movement? The preliminary question, that of the grand union of all the churches, is now profoundly agitating the religious world. Just Beecher, in his sermon at the dedication of the Second Presbyterian Church, Fort Wayne, Indiana, February 22, 1846, before referred to, said, "Thus are the ministry of the evangelical Protestant denominations not only formed all the way up under a tremendous pressure of merely human fear, but they live and move and breathe in a state of things radically corrupt, and appealing every hour to every baser element of their nature to wash up the truth and bow the knee to the power of apostasy. Was not this the way things went with Rome? Are we not living her life over again? And what do we see just ahead? Another general council, a world's convention, evangelical alliance, and universal creed." Banner of Light, July 30, 1864, said, "A system will be unfolded sooner or later that will embrace in its fold church and state, for the object of the two should be one and the same." The Church Advocate in March 1870, speaking of the formation of an independent American Catholic Church, a movement now agitated in this country, said, "There is evidently some secret power at work which may be preparing the world for great events in the near future." Mr. Havens, in a speech delivered in New York a few years ago. "For my part, I wait to see the day when a Luther shall spring up in this country, who shall found a great American Catholic Church instead of a great Roman Catholic Church, and who shall teach men that they can be good Catholics without professing allegiance to a pontiff on the other side of the Atlantic." In favor of this union, or rather confederacy of churches, journals are published, speakers are pleading today. Thus, there are indications that at no distant day, such a church will be seen, not indeed raised up through the instrumentality of a Luther, but rather through the operation of the same spirit that inspired a Fernando Nunez or a Torquemada. This being done, another installment of the prophecy will be accomplished, and the image will be formed. And inasmuch as the United States is the only country where such a move can be looked for, and as events here openly tending to see such a result, the evidence is hereby still further strengthened that the prophecy applies to this government. We'll read the next time. Point number 12, the mark of the beast. May God our Father and his Spirit of truth, through the Spirit of his Son, Jesus Christ, be with us all. Amen.